Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the effing title. This is episode 17. And as you can see, if you're visually watching this, if you're not, you're just going to have to take my word for it. The screen is a little blank. This is episode 17. This week I decided to do something completely different, out of the realm of what I have been doing on the podcast. We are doing... There's only one topic, and the topic is very, very broad. The topic for today is questions from the citizens. So for the past week, I have been putting up on my Instagram story, ask me questions, ask me questions, ask me questions, ask me questions. Some took advantage of this to ask multiple questions, to which I appreciate. Some decided to ask one question and call it quits. I appreciate. Some decided to look at every single one of the question days that I added and didn't ask a single fucking question. I can see these things. So yeah, thanks. So today's entire podcast, though, nonetheless, I thought I'd do something a little different. And it is literally just me answering questions. I have 4 pages worth of questions on my little notepad here. 43 questions. I will also be answering questions that chat will be throwing at me throughout the night too. I thought this would be interesting because it gives people the opportunity to ask questions, just opinions, questions, see my view of stuff. I just thought this would be an interesting topic. I thought this would be kind of an interesting topic because it is all topics basically. But anyways, so like I said, I just have them written down, so I'm just going to go one by one. Some of the questions, I will admit, I had to do a little looking up and research on, because I wasn't 100% sure how to answer them. Some of them I'm just going to answer straight on the spot. Okay? Just letting you all know that there's a wide range. Okay? First question. Question number 1. Who will be the most overhyped rookie in the top 10 picks of this year's NFL draft? So, obviously, I've talked about this multiple times, different podcasts throughout the entire year so far, with my buddies, Jeff and Sturge. We've all said Joe Burrows will be the biggest bust. He's already the most overhyped rookie. The way that they're talking about him is almost no chance that he can be successful. The only way he can be successful is if he takes the Bengals to a Super Bowl within 5 years. That's just the way they've been talking about him. Other than that, the offensive tackle from the Giants. I think it's Andrew Thomas. I will take a quick moment right now. Yes, I will be looking up stuff as I go through it just to make sure I am correct on stuff. Yeah, Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas was the 4th overall pick. I didn't think he was the 4th best tackle. So, I kind of thought that was a little bit of a weird pick for me, personally. So those are the 2 in the top 10, though, that I think will be the most overhyped. A lot of the other guys are just they're solid ball players, so I can't really give too much shit to half of the other ones on there. Those are the 2 big ones, though: Joe Burrows and then Andrew Thomas. And those are both in the top 5. So, question number 2: if money was no question, give us a 4-course meal of your dreams. I don't know, man. I'm a simple dude. I'm a real simple dude. I'm not a big, so 4-course meal, of course. Like I said, I'm a simple dude. 4-course meal, I'm assuming that means breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a dessert. Because honestly, I don't fucking know. If I had to choose, money wasn't an option. I don't know, man. Give me a really good breakfast. Like, if I could get, a really good breakfast, sausage, some bacon. Let's go with an omelet. I like an omelet. Let's do something like that for breakfast. Why not, right? Lunch. I don't know. Let's go like lunch, like a good like chicken, like a good chicken meal. Like let's go chicken. You know what? I've actually been really enjoying the chicken and pea risotto from Freshly. Um, so why don't we do something like that for dinner? You know what? I like lobster. That there. How about that? I'll throw in a lobster. I'll throw a lobster in there, and then for dessert, I don't know, man. Fucking some cheesecake. I don't fucking like some ice cream. A cookie from my cookie dealer. I'm just gonna start throwing out all these fucking random places and companies that I like in the middle of these today. Why the fuck not? But yeah, no, I'm a simple dude. I mean, like, I don't go out and spend a lot of money to eat. Like, if I'm going out to eat, I'm, gonna spend like $20 if I can, hopefully, you know. So I don't know. I don't know on that one. That's a tough one for me because, like I said, lobster's the most expensive thing I'm going to be doing out of the whole thing. I like lobster. I just don't get it a lot, you know. Um, I rarely get it. If I get anything seafood wise, it's normally shrimp or salmon, So, but yeah, kind of a boring answer. Um, Three, who in your opinion is the most overrated streamer? And you can't say Ninja. I'm shocked that I'm not allowed to say Ninja with who asked this. I'm not even gonna fucking answer it now. Just because it's negativity. I don't want to fucking put more negativity out there right now, especially that there is. But nah, man, I just don't like Ninja. I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan of the way he is. I'm not a fan of the way that he treats fucking his friends. It's just it's bullshit. Um, Four. What kind of challenges are you facing these days? Um, and this is why I want to do this because like you can already see, right? We've gone from football, we've gone to food, we've gone to an opinion on streaming to what sort of challenges am I facing these days. This is why I wanted to do this because I wanted to see just what sort of broad range spectrum you guys would do. Challenges I'm facing today. Well, of course, be prepared for me to say I don't know because that's just kind of a go-to right now for me. Um, Challenges I'm facing these days. Opening up a bit. I'm not. I my I. A lot of times I'll think of things and I'll let them get the best of me. I let them run. I'll let my brain run with certain ideas. For instance, if someone doesn't message me back, just a broad spectrum. Not talking about fucking anyone. Just so everyone out there fucking knows. Don't get message back. So what did I do? Did I do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? Did they hear something about me? Am I being too needy? And it can just go from there. Just a very simple thing like that. And like it's one of those things that I work with, and it's something that I have to deal with. But like I overthink a lot of things. I think that's the easiest way of putting it. I overthink it, but I can overthink it and let it manipulate into a very negative and dark and bad thing to the point where like it can really fuck with me. To the point where like I've had it happen a few different nights within the last month where like I just say fuck it and I'm going to bed. Because that's simple. Like I'm just done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to bed. Um Other than that, that's a big one. That's one that I've been dealing with for a while. That's a big challenge I've been facing. It's on and off. Another one would be my weight. Obviously, I'm big. I'm husky. I always I always joke about that, and always but it's always been an issue. It's kind of the either remember I forgot who it was at one point. Someone told me there's either you're the sad fat guy or the funny fat guy. You get to choose which one you are. That sort of thing at one point. And I'm just kind of sick of being the big guy. I'd like to lose some weight. It's just finding the time to do it. It's finding the motivation to do it. I know exactly how to do it. I was a sports med major in college. I know exactly how to do it. I've taken enough fucking courses over the years to tell anyone, how to do it. I mean, shit, I was a personal trainer for a little bit. Technically, I had my card and everything. Well, I mean, like, really, those are the two big things. It's just me. I overthink some stuff, and I do wish I could be in better shape. Personally, that's me. Those are the two kind of the big challenges I'm facing these days. You know. But yeah. Number 5. This one, of course, my buddy asked me this. Like, one of my good friends asked me this on Instagram, and as soon as I read it, I was like, "Oh, fuck you." So it's the GOAT in all 5 major sports. So major sports: baseball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer. This one I did a little looking at recently because I wanted to think about this and I wanted to do it a little bit differently. Go for anyone out there that doesn't know, and I don't know why anyone wouldn't know this. GOAT is greatest of all time. And I had to think about this because, like, of course, like, I can name, like, Barry Bonds, for instance. I can name Wayne Gretzky. I can name, like, Pele. I can name Jordan. But, I can name Johnny Unitas, like, there's 5 for each one of the majors, and I could say that. And I could feel okay saying that. But I wanted to do the 5 greatest of all time that I have physically seen. And for some sports, it's going to be fucking weird. But that's the way that I wanted to do this anyway. This one was the 5 greatest, the greatest of all times that I've actually physically seen play the game and play the sport. So for me, soccer is Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs, when I was a kid, I was a huge Ryan Giggs fan. And even more as I grew up. And then when I moved to America, I kind of fell out of love with soccer. And then I started watching a lot of, like, tribute stuff, a lot of highlight video stuff of Giggs. And it reminded me why I love the guy so much. So greatest of all time for soccer is Ryan Giggs. For the NHL, this is going to be a weird one. I don't watch a lot of NHL. I only know a few names. But I'm putting my boy Tim Thomas as the greatest of all time because he's a goalie. He went to UVM. Played for the Bruins. I saw him win a championship with the Bruins because all my buddies were forcing me to watch hockey when I was in college. And, like, I really haven't watched anyone. Like, that's literally the only name I could remember was Tim Thomas, other than Tuukka Rask. Those are the 2 names that I could remember. And I was trying my best, because I know he's probably in chat listening, or I'm going to get a message at some point. I tried my best to try and remember the Buffalo Sabres goalie, and I couldn't fucking remember his name to save my life. But I was thinking about putting him too. For the NBA, I had to go Kobe. I saw Kobe play. Kobe, incredible. Baseball, I didn't watch a whole lot of baseball either. I'm mainly just a football guy. So, like I said, this one was tough for me because, I'm a football guy. Baseball, I went with Roy Halladay, pitcher. I like pitching. I like watching pitchers. When I had the video game, it was the main position I got playing in there. Like, my buddies would be playing, like, first base or, like, third base or, those sort of things. Nope. Let me throw that fucker. Let me pitch it. So did that. And then for the NFL, this one took a little while. Mainly because I know for a fact, with me being a football guy, you can't say really greatest all time. I would give people greatest at their position, right? The GAT. Greatest at, no, Kata? I don't know. Greatest of their position. That's the way that I've always thought about it. There is no greatest of all time for football, because if you put Tom Brady behind the offensive line that David Carr had when he was with the Houston Texans, he ain't doing shit. He ain't. So I thought about it like that. Greatest their position. So I went with 2 big names. 2 names that, like, when I watched back, I was like, wow. And it was like I said, players I've seen play. So I went with Peyton Manning because there was, I don't remember why, but recently me and Jeff were talking about it, and I started watching Peyton Manning highlights, and just watching him throw the ball and watching his execution and the way that he played, I had to put him there. I think Peyton has been one of the best. Yes, he's had a tremendous team around him, but he just always played at a really high level. And then the other one as well, and that's the personal favorite of mine, is Jonathan Ogden. It's the reason why I'm a Ravens fan. One of the best left tackles, if not the best tackle to play the game of football in the history of the NFL. So, yeah, so those are my GOATs. Like I said, I know they're fucking weird, but it's the guys that I've seen play, and I thought that would be fair versus me saying like Wayne Gretzky, but I've never seen him fucking play, It's question 6. Why DC over Marvel? I used to like Marvel a lot. And then I started buying the comics, and I started reading the stories, and I started learning the history. And that's when my kind of love for comics made a decision. Made a decision was when I went that. A lot of the DC comics were just so unique, and they were so drastically different between each one of them. It was one of those things where, like, when I was watching the Marvel movies, I started realizing they were all very similar. Where with DC, all of them were very different, and it was the same thing with the books. It felt. I bought a Hulk book at one point, Volume 1. I start opening up and I'm reading it, and it's in the middle of a story arc. So it's Volume 1 in the middle of a story arc. I had no clue what was going on. The artwork looked like crap too, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Meanwhile, I just bought a DC book as well. Part 1, it kind of picked up at the beginning of stuff, but then it immediately did like a little flashback. It immediately caught you up, let you know what was going on. So immediately at that point, I'm like, okay, this is cool. I started learning more characters in DC, and a lot of the ones that people don't know about, like Grifter, Suicide Six, not Suicide Six, the Secret Six, Suicide Squad. I mix those two up. The different lanterns, Red Hood, Nightwing, just like all of these different offshoots, Black Lightning, Blue Beetle, I could keep going on and on and on with, naming them. But like, it was just so unique seeing all these drastically different characters and how drastically different the story arcs were. But then also reading some of the legendary story arcs like Flashpoint, reading the book of Flashpoint versus I'd only seen the animation. Reading the book of Flashpoint, there's parts of the story that have changed and it's different. And it was unique seeing shit like that. Red Sun Superman, the Dark Knight series, what was it? Absolute Blackest Night. That book was incredible. That was one of the first books I ever bought. It was $70, and I was losing my shit because I just bought a $70 comic book. Like, I was kind of mad at myself, but also happy at the same time. It actually like hurt my arm holding it to read it. But yeah, so that's why I went DC over Marvel. Was eventually it was just the characters, the difference in just kind of each story and each character was so drastically different. But each character was unique enough so that like it made it worth reading, and it's to the point now where I almost have 600 books. So I mean that's my thing. Is like I like DC over Marvel. I do like Marvel as a whole. I don't like the Marvel Cinematic Universe and some other stuff like that. But DC is where my heart is. Always will be. Thank you, Dana, for the host. I appreciate it. So question number 7. Why are there 2 A's at the beginning of Aardvark? Well, you see, way back at the beginning of time, when the Aardvark first came into existence, Aardvark, they were worrying about what to call it, and they stuttered. And Aardvark, and that's why there's 2 A's at the beginning of Aardvark, is because they stuttered. So when you see it written, it's Aardvark. right? It's the same thing. Why is there a D in fridge but not in refrigerator? Right? Right? Mysteries of the universe. Has nothing to do with them being a pirate's pet. That's a common misconception, Jeff. Common misconception, because the R common misconception. Nope. So this one actually got asked quite a few times, and it's funny because I've actually given the answer to this one on stream multiple times, but this one got asked like 3 times, and it's what interested you to begin streaming. I honestly I didn't even know what streaming was. Like, if we go back, like, let's see now, we're a year and a half now, or a year, almost a half for me streaming myself. So let's say we go back 2 years. If we go back 2 years, I didn't even know what streaming was. Like, I'm not even gonna fucking lie to you guys. I didn't know I didn't know that people did this. Some shitty things happened. I kind of got told I wasn't coming back as a football coach. One of the kids that I used to coach was like, "Hey, you play video games, why don't you stream it on your fancy laptop that you have?" And I was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" And that kind of was it. It was like, I was already playing these games anyway. I might as well stream them. And then it turned into the fact of like, well, if I'm going to play a game, I might as well stream it. To now where it's like, I only play games when I'm streaming. But that was the thing, is like that was kind of what got me into streaming, though, was the fact of it was just kind of like, why don't you just do this? And I was like, fuck it, let's see what happens, And a year and a half later, here we are, and hi chat. Yeah, so that's what there was no real interest in me for me to stream. I just kind of everything kind of just fell into this place, and this is where we're at. So question 9 plays right onto that. It says, what is my favorite part of streaming? My favorite part of streaming is just being able to, there's 2. The first thing is being able to provide content for people. I love being able to provide content for people, even if it's not something that like everybody loves. I know for a fact, like when I play Fortnite, not a whole lot of people watch, because not a whole lot of people like watching me play Fortnite. But if I'm playing Madden or Apex or, even this, I know people like to watch. It's content. And that's my thing, is I like being able to provide people with content that they can potentially, it can make their day. That's kind of my thing. If I can make someone laugh or smile or, feel a little bit better at the end of the day from just watching a video of mine, watching a YouTube video, coming on stream saying hi, having a conversation with me and chat, that makes my day, So that's kind of my favorite part, really, is just being able to interact with people and kind of be able to provide something for people that, I know for a fact, I like watching Tim the Tatman. I like watching Dakotas. I know for a fact that if I write something in their chat, probably won't be seen, So having a streamer talk to you and stuff is kind of cool. And I'm always trying my best. I know I'm not the best at it. Whoops, but yeah, I just I like, my favorite part is being able to interact with people and just kind of show off. Sometimes I have good games, sometimes I have funny games, sometimes I do cool things, sometimes I suck. I like being able to share that with people. So that's kind of that's my favorite part of it. Yeah. Question 10. What would you tell someone who is starting out? The good, the bad, the ugly. So it's one of those things, especially being a small streamer. The good is, once you do meet these connections and everything, it's kind of it's cool, because for a fact, just for an instance, Dana is in Maryland. Me and Dana talk almost every day. Swampy is in Florida. Me and him talk almost every day. Dingles is in the UK. Me and Dingles talk almost every day. Tomatillo, I'm not sure where you are, but you've been in chat almost every day the last week. Jeff is one of my old college buddies from New York. Like I like the good thing and the cool thing in me is that you meet these people that you never knew would be such a huge part of your life, you know, and it only gets better from there. That's kind of the cool thing with it. Is like there's that, and then like the feeling of like, for instance, like the feeling of getting bits, or the feeling of getting a donation or a sub or a raid or a host. That feeling is like just it's unreal, especially when it's someone that you don't know. Um, so that's kind of the cool thing. I mean, like, and it's that building the community, and it's all kind of just plays into what you want to do with the stream. Because some people want to stream just to have fun with it. Some people want to stream to try and make it a full-time job. Some people want to do it because their mom said they'd be good at it. Sometimes it's just like a friend's being like, hey, you should do this because it would work well for you. um the bad is that just like it sucks. Like there's days when you don't want to do it and you have to. There's days when you're gonna get on stream, you're gonna have 0 viewers. I went through weeks when I first started streaming, weeks of 0 viewers. And I was streaming. Even back then, I was still streaming. I was streaming daily. I was streaming 30 to 40 hours a week, just like I do now, with 0 viewers. It was just me. It was just me, and it was just me talking to myself, basically. Every now and then I would get like a viewer or two, and that sucks. And it's but it's one of those things though where you just at that point after a few like weeks that you kind of have to start thinking like, okay, what the fuck am I doing? You know, um, because like that's where I was getting at. I was getting to that point where I had 1 viewership. I think my viewership was like 1.3 or something like that. And I was like, okay, I'm starting to get kind of like fed up with this shit. I'm thinking about quitting. And this was like a year ago. And then the NFL draft happened, and the NFL draft made my channel fucking explode. But since then, though, it's just grown nonstop. It's a slow grow, and then every now and then there's a quick spike. But it's a slow grow, and it's one of those things. Like, I think it was Summit. It was either Summit or Shroud that said just stream, just do it. Their whole thing is that just stream, just get online and stream. Every day. And I remember hearing that at one point. I was like, okay, done. And I think so far this year, there's only been 1 day where I haven't streamed, and that was the day after I got done doing my 24-hour stream. So like the bad is just like there's some times when like you're gonna have no one there, and it's gonna make you question whether or not you want to do this. And that's when you kind of have to do a little deep dive on yourself and be like, okay, is this something I want to do? Even if it's only part-time, even if it's full-time, like whatever. You have to consider, am I going to keep putting in the time and effort to do this? That sort of thing. And the ugly can be the chat. Now, of course, the cool thing with this, and it's one of those, it's the double-edged sword. The cool thing is the chat, right? I mean, I fucking love my chat. I love you guys in chat. You guys are always fucking there. We're toxic together, but we're also, supportive of each other. It's great times. But it is the internet, and there are shitty people on the fucking internet. There are people that will say mean shit to you. There will be people that will threaten your life. There will be people that will just overall be a fucking asshole for no reason. And that's kind of the ugly, really. Other than that, there isn't really an ugly. The main ugly is just the fact that it's the internet and there's shitty people on the internet. And that's it, really. That's kind of the thing. The thing, like, and it's one of those things, and this is me kind of veering off a little bit from the main question, but my thing would be just have fun. To anyone starting out, or anyone that's, like, sorry. For anyone that's just starting out, or starting to take it more seriously, just have fun. The more fun you have, the more interactive you are, the better it's going to be. It's hard to look at numbers and just sit there and be like, cool, I've been at 1 viewer for the last hour, or cool, I've been at like 2 for the last 20, like that. It's always, that's always going to be something that happens. Just try your best to ignore it and just have fun doing what you're doing and playing the games that you are with the friends that you're playing with. It's, it sucks, but that's kind of the best I can give you, Number 11 literally was a thumbs up emoji. Here's to you. Random thumbs up guy. Which, by the way, wasn't a follower either. That was kind of cool. Yeah, that's only the first page, by the way. Question 12. Who is the best live action Batman? Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is the best live action Batman. Done. He's a specific type of Batman. It's the Dark Knight version of Batman. It's the old, broken down Batman. And the reason why I think this is the best is because it's the one we haven't seen before. We've always seen the up and coming, brand new, or just a year or two in, oh, I'm just starting off Batman. We've never actually gotten a old, veteran, grizzled Batman. And he says in a line in the movie where he says, we've been in as 20 years in Gotham, Alfred. He says that line at one point, 20 years in Gotham. Referring to he's been Batman for 20 years. To me, that's kind of cool because it shows a completely different side of Batman we've never seen before. His Batman fight-wise is taken straight out of the Arkham games, which, if you ask anyone out there, they'll tell you that the Arkham games have some of the best fight mechanics in all of video games. The Batman fight scenes are kind of awesome. So for me, Ben Affleck is the best live-action Batman. I'm interested to see what Robert Pattinson does with Batman, and I'm interested to see if Ben Affleck does actually come back as Batman now that we have the Snyder Cut available and happening. 13. What is your favorite video game? My favorite video game is Overwatch. At one point, I was going to buy either For Honor or Overwatch. I watched the Reinhardt trailer, and I bought Overwatch. And that's it. It's kind of that simple. I love Overwatch. I love everything about the game. It pisses me off a lot, as all of you guys who watch me play know. But I love the game. I love everything about it. So yeah. Who's your favorite artist? So my favorite artist is it's Jim Lee. Jim Lee is a DC artist. I was gonna actually have a picture of it on a picture of one of his things on screen, but I love the way that I love the way that his art looks is the big thing. It always looks really good to me. I'll do just a quick little. So like this, for instance, is Jim Lee, but this is Jim Lee. I just love the design of stuff. I love the overall, the way everything looks, and you can easily tell that's Batman. This is a Joker. This is Bane. This is Robin. There's Two-Face. There's Harley. You can tell it's very well done. And Jim Lee also is one of the best artists for comic books out there. Love all of his work. I don't think there's actually been a single piece of stuff that I've seen from him that I haven't liked. So artist-wise, Jim Lee, hands down. Question 15. Do you like alcohol/beer? If so, what is your fave? I always used to say when I was in college that I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a college student. I do like alcohol and beer. I don't drink as much as I used to because it's hard for me to find that off switch to make me stop. So instead of being kind of tempted with the idea of drinking and not stopping, I basically just stopped drinking altogether. Saves money, and I don't have to deal with throwing up all over the place. But when I do drink, I will have normally I'll get something like a Jack and Coke, or just, just give me some Jack Daniels. Um, that sort of thing. I like Jack Daniels, I like whiskey. If I do drink beer, and normally I just drink Bud Light. Like I said earlier, man, I'm simple. I'm not, and nothing special, nothing bougie, nothing over the top here. Just nice and simple. You give me, Jack on the Rocks, or you give me a Sam Adams or a Bud Light. I'm a fucking happy camper. I don't need no fancy IPA from this one place that makes it in only this special barrel that they do 3 times a year. No, fuck that. Just give me a fucking can of Bud Light, and I'll have some. We'll have some fucking fun. Yeah. So, like I said, I do like alcohol. I just don't drink that much. I will drink socially. If I'm doing it, or if I am in full control of myself, I will only have a few. If not, it's going to be a wild night. Um, so yeah. Um, Question 16. Any more tattoo plans? For some of you that don't know, I have tattoos. I got 4. It's funny. One of my friends that I've known now for a full year on stream, she recently came into my chat and she goes, "Oh my god, you have tattoos." I had no idea you had tattoos. So yes, I have tattoos. I have both arms done. I have the inside of this bicep, and I have my calf done. I have ideas and plans for tattoos that I want. I just haven't put the money aside or found someone to go to them. I want to get my left calf done. Basically the entire back of my calf, from the back of the kneecap all the way down to the base of the foot. It's going to be a huge piece. It's going to be Nordic based. In runes, it's going to say those not all who wander are lost, with the symbol for the Norse protection symbol for helping you find your way. That's a big one that I want on my calf. I have a few DC ones that I'm gonna do that I would like to get around the base of my arm here. And there's a few other ones, but I mean, it's one of those things where I had a guy that used to do my tattoos literally down the street from me. Great price. I loved it. I love the way that all my tattoos look that he did for me. He closed up shop a little while ago though. So it's now just the fact of saving the money and finding someone new to do them, because I know for a fact that I won't be able to get away with the prices that I did. So yeah, that's that. Question 17. Favorite TV show. This is interesting. This one took me a while to figure out and to think about, because there's a lot of TV shows that I watch. I watch a lot of DC TV shows, so obviously it's going to be a DC TV show. And I was talking to my buddy Jeff about it. My buddy Jeff decided to, poke it, poke at me and says it's easily Batwoman. I don't know why you have to think about this. Thinking about it, I love Doom Patrol. I love Swamp Thing. Outside of DC, love Rick and Morty, Big Bang Theory, Friends, Seinfeld. King of Queens is a huge one. King of Queens would be number 2 for me behind this one, but I'm gonna go with Arrow. Arrow is the TV show that kind of started my love for DC a little bit. The mix between Arrow and buying Aquaman, the Aquaman New 52 books, kind of built my love for DC. That was the kind of the building blocks of my love for DC. I love the way that the show was. It was gritty. It was grounded in realism. Up until we started getting into some magic stuff in later seasons, but they did a really good job with the storytelling, I felt. Obviously, they took some liberties and they changed some things here and there. But what I was doing while that was happening was I was buying books. So whenever they were introducing a new character, I was trying to find the book for it so I could read the book and read up on the character before it happened in the actual book. So it was kind of cool. I liked it. Of course, Flash is a great show. Stargirl is a new show. I'm a little bit behind on that now. Actually, I'm 2 episodes behind now. But I really do like that show so far from what I've seen. Um, yeah, if I had to say it's Arrow, then King of Queens. I didn't even think of King of Queens until just now, actually, which is kind of funny. Um, um, 18. If you could have a superpower, what would it be? This one's easy. It's gonna sound boring, but this is easy. It's immortality. Easily immortality. Um, I love the character Vandal Savage in DC Comics. And Vandal Savage has been there throughout all of time, and he has been kind of a person behind the scenes, right? Manipulating stuff. I think the immortality would be a cool superpower to have because you could literally change and do whatever you wanted after a certain amount of time. Especially if, like knowledge, right? The amount of knowledge that you could acquire from being immortal would be unreal. You know what I mean? Like it would be so ridiculous how much you could learn with that. And with that comes other things. So like if I'm immortal and I can, and I'm learning this, learning that, learning this, learning that, learning this, learning that, eventually I'll be able to become smart enough so I can actually get other superpowers probably because I'll figure out how to be able to do it, you know. So that's my thing. I'm picking immortality. I ain't dying anyway. I'm gonna live forever. Um, it's happening. So yeah, your boy ain't going nowhere. It's gonna be 30, 30-20, and I'm still gonna be here, streaming, doing my thing. Um, question 19: when you switching to PC, side crying, laughing face? I'm never switching to PC. Um, eventually I'll get a PC and I'll play on and I'll do some things on PC, but I won't be doing a ton of things. Um, what was your first video game ever? Question 20. First video game ever. I had to think of this one. I'm almost 100% sure I know the answer to this. So I'm going to give two answers because it's one or the other. I don't know which one it is. I probably should have just asked my mom before I fucking got on. Um, but it's one of two. It's either Mario 64 for the N64 or Pokemon Red for the Game Boy. And I had an old school purple Game Boy that had no fucking backlight or anything. You had to like buy a specific little fucking thing to put in the side so you could have a light that shined down. But when you put that in, it would quickly take away all your power on your Game Boy. Yeah. Question 21. And I'm kind of upset because I'm about to answer this, and this person isn't even in my chat. So, how much do you love me? A lot or a lot, a lot? So, you know what, random mystery person who isn't in my chat but asked me, how much do I love you? I love you a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. But you're never going to hear this because you weren't here. Question number 22. What are your expectations for Dwayne Haskins entering his second year with the Washington Redskins? I think Haskins should have a good year with the Redskins. Bringing in Ron Rivera is going to be already a solid move. Scary Terry being in his second year, solid move. Peterson's back. I think that it's going to be an improvement. You're going to see a drastic improvement from Dwayne Haskins from year one to year two. I'm not going to go into a whole lot more than that because I don't like giving out definitives, right? I'm not a guy that goes like he definitely will or he never will. Like I know. He's going to he's going to show improvement from year 1 to year 2. How much I don't know, but he's going to show improvement. I'm intrigued to see how the Redskins play this year with Ron Rivera there. That was a huge. Honestly, I would say that's one of the best fucking pickups of the entire NFL free agency. Was Ron Rivera going to the Redskins? Um, yeah. Question number 23. What would it take to shave both your beard and your head? Complete cue ball. This is another one that took me a little while to think about. What would it take for me to shave my head and my beard? Because, of course, I've only done that once. I did it in college. And I know exactly what it looks like, and it isn't pretty. $250. If I got $250, I would shave both my head and my beard. No, actually, I'm going to change that. I'm going to say 500. $500. $500, and I shave both. That's what it would take. 500. Take it or leave it. Yeah. Mainly just because I'm starting to thin on top. My dad and my American grandfather are both bald, along with my American uncle. They're all bald. My English grandfather had a big old head of hair. I always said I had his hair, and recently I started actually like getting thin on top right here. From years of pulling it back in the Viking knot that I used to have. For some people that know that look that I had. Yeah. So if I did that, I probably would keep my hair short for a little while. That's kind of why I'm keeping it a little longer now. I'm letting me embrace it before I gotta let it go. Yeah, $500. $500. I'll get rid of the whole fucking thing. Question 24. What movie are you most excited for that comes out within the next year? I wonder. Justice League Snyder Cut. I don't have to say. I'm not saying anything else. That's it. I've been waiting for fucking years to watch that movie, and I'm finally gonna get the opportunity to. Either it's gonna be a movie or it's gonna be a series. Either way, I don't give a fuck. I'm excited to watch it. Yeah, that's the answer to that. Question 25. Favorite soda? Question mark. I don't have a favorite. I like a lot of different sodas. I like Dr Pepper. I like Mountain Dew. I like Coke. I like Fanta. Basically any orange soda. If I had to go with a overall arcing, like which one is the top, if you give me an orange soda, I don't give a fuck what company makes it. Most of the time I'm going to be happy. Huge orange soda fan. For anyone out there that's a little bit older than me, who loves orange soda? That has always been a huge part of that was a part of my childhood. Then it was like, yes. So yeah, orange soda would be the number one. But like I said, Mountain Dew, Dr Pepper, Coke. Yes, I'm a Coke guy. I like Coke over Pepsi, other than certain other offshoot things. 26. Favorite and least favorite live action DC films. Least favorite is easily the Justice League movie that we got because of what I knew about the movie. And I'm even going to say that over the Catwoman movie with Halle Berry in it. Favorite movie, DC, is kind of an easy one for me. It's Batman vs. Superman. I'm an Aquaman fan. I really like the Aquaman movie, but Batman vs. Superman, I think, was a fantastic movie with a lot of really great storytelling, and I love the characters in it. Joker is right up there as well, but I can't not like Batman vs. Superman, hands down. 27. What is your favorite character from a video game? I thought about this one. I've actually been thinking about this one since I read that one. This is I thought this was a really good one. I'm gonna go Reinhardt. I'm gonna go Reinhardt from Overwatch. I personally myself feel like I am Reinhardt. just a little bit bigger and chunkier. But I feel like I am Reinhardt. And like I said, the Reinhardt Overwatch cinematic is what made me want to buy and play Overwatch. So, yeah, Reinhardt. Number 28. What is the best campaign you played and the least favorite slash overhyped? Um, so this one's a little bit interesting because I'm not really like I really don't have a least favorite or overhyped out of all the ones that I've done recently. Because that's the other one is that, like I never really played a lot of story mode campaign video games. I only recently started doing that more now that I'm streaming and I'm doing it for YouTube and stuff. Um, so the best one though is Hue. Hue I thought was a really good game. I really liked Hue. It was one of the first series I ever uploaded to YouTube. I love the story of Hue. Um, Blair Witch was another one I really loved. I fucking hated playing that game because I hate horror stuff. I hate scary stuff. I don't like being scared. But the overall story I thought was really cool. The least favorite I would probably say would be Jurassic World Evolution, maybe just because it felt so tedious at points. Talos Principle just pissed me off because it got too big brain for me. Yeah, other than those, I mean, and those are, like that's just kind of the least favorite ones that I played. I wouldn't even say they're overhyped, just least favorite. Trying to think of the name of the banana one that Pedro. My name's Pedro. My friend Pedro. That one was a little bit weird. But 29. Who dat say they gonna beat them Saints? Yep. 30. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Bien. ¿Y tú? I think I answered that correctly, and I don't know if I did or not. So if anyone out there knows Spanish, please let me know. 31. What is the goal of your channel? The goal of my channel. That's actually a really good question. I really kind of don't know how to answer this. The goal of my channel. If I had to say, if I had to put a goal, like this is what I want for my channel. And this is like I said, a lot of this stuff's kind of may sound weird, especially with friends that know me and listen to this. I've always felt like an outcast. I've always felt like the outsider. And I kind of feel like this, this is a place for people who feel like that to come and feel comfortable. Because there's always been I can know like a friend and even in college it happened. I would be able to go to a friend's room and I would feel uncomfortable in their room. We're best friends. They spend fucking 90% of the day or 70% of the day that we're in the dorms in my room. And I'm 100% okay with it. But as soon as I go to their room, it feels weird. And it's one of those things that I want this to be a place where people who feel like outcasts, feel like they're the outsiders, they don't kind of, they feel a little bit off or, that sort of thing. They're welcome here and they feel comfortable here and they're not going to be, it's not going to be an uncomfortable feeling. It's a place, where people can come, hang out, have a good time, and just kind of forget all the bullshit that happens in the real world. So that's kind of, I guess that would be, if anything, that would be the goal of the channel. Is to give a place for people like me, basically. 32. Who would win a fight, Batman or Superman? I'm not gonna fucking answer this one. I'm just not going to. Because like my thing is, it all depends on which one. What Batman and what Superman are we talking about? Are we talking about Kingdom Come Superman? Are we talking about Nightmare Batman from the DCEU? Are we talking about Superman from Flashpoint? Or are we talking about Red Death's Batman? Are we talking about Red Sun Superman? Or are we talking about Owlman, who is Batman but on Earth 2? And the part of the crime syndicate. Like it all depends. Like which, like, are we talking Godfall Superman? Are we talking Mobius chair Batman? Like it all depends on which version we're talking about, and I'm not gonna get into all of that. Depending on what universe it is, like both of them win. They're both fucking dope. And it's one of those things, depending on how long Batman has, he can beat everyone. Yes, that is true. But Superman, no matter what, would be able to fucking kill him because Superman is Superman. Like, it's just one of those things, So I'm going to cop out. I'm not going to give an answer. $33. What's your favorite ice cream flavor? Mint chocolate chip. Or, no, it's not really an ice cream flavor, though. Now that I'm thinking about it. The one I'm thinking about in my head. Mint chocolate chip. I like mint chocolate chip. I like mint and I like chocolate. Mint chocolate chip. Done. 34. I'm gonna look real quick to see if this fucking asshole's in chat still. He isn't. He isn't even in chat. See, he asked this question. He's not even gonna be in chat. So here we go. 34. Have you ever used a sex toy on yourself or another partner? No. 35. Have you sent a dick pic in the last 30 days? No. I will say this though. I will say this though. I am shocked that it took that long for someone to come up with those questions. 36. Any regrets from playing football? Yes, I regret not taking it more seriously and putting in more time into actually being a better football player. Watching film, weight room, perfecting my craft, that sort of thing. Those are the regrets I have. I have no regrets about what I did to my body. Yep, you've seen me kind of get up and hobble around on stream. Yep, you've seen me fucking do this about, and like warm my hand up, move my arm around. I have a CBD vape pen that I use. I'm always constantly talking about the pressure in my chest from my impacted rib. My knees are bad, my ankle's bad, broke all my fingers, got bad wrists. Like, I wouldn't change any of that in the world. The only things I would change is that I wish I was more dedicated to what I should have been doing. I wish I tried more. I wish I tried more. I wish I tried harder. Those are the things that I regret. And those are the things that I will always regret. I will never regret I will never regret playing the game of football. I will always regret not playing the game of football to as high a level as I know I should have. And that is the big regret for me. Final page. Kind of went really slow at the beginning, and then I just speed round this shit. 37. Favorite childhood show. Power Rangers. The OG original Power Rangers, which I'm a member of. I'm a Power Ranger. Let's see. Amazing Spider-Man, the cartoon, the original, the animated Batman series. Yeah. Name a popular movie you simply haven't seen. A lot of Quentin Tarantino movies. Rudy. I just think they look dumb, so I don't watch them. 39. If you could live anywhere, where would you live? I don't know. No, I grew up in England. I've lived basically here in Vermont my entire life now. Um, I don't know. Like there's always the side of me that says like, like there's the like the image of like the wood cabin out, in the like the meadow, in like Norway or Iceland or that sort of thing. Like, and I see that and I go, yeah, that's where I'd want to live. Then I go start thinking about all the other shit that would come into that, where it's like probably wouldn't have internet, probably wouldn't have this, probably wouldn't have that, probably wouldn't have this, probably wouldn't have that. And I'm like, yeah, never mind. And that's like, well, maybe I want to, honestly, I want to be. I If I could live anywhere, where would I live? I would live somewhere that would make me happy. Because, I could live fucking in the Rock's house. If I'm not happy, then why the fuck am I living there? Um, what is your absolute favorite treat? Well, my absolute favorite treat is my cookie dealer. Am I doing it right? I do like my cookie dealer. I did it once as a kind of like, fuck it, I'll do, I'll buy myself some 5 pound cookies, 5 pounds of cookies, and then it eventually and gradually turned itself into, holy shit, um, I'm buying cookies, you know, every week. So yeah, my cookie dealer is probably one of them, along with, um, I just like a nice coffee as well. Honestly, nice coffee, so a little chocolate, that sort of thing. Who's your dream sponsor? Number 41. I've thought about this, and I do have a few. I have a few. Obviously, a lot of you guys know Sneak is the big one for me. I have fucking 10 shakers, and I just bought another one. Um, you know, um, I've been buying this shit for almost a year now. I promote it on every single thing I do. I even, most of the time on my stream, in the title, I tell you what Sneak I'm drinking that day. Sneak, I think, would be a huge one just because I love their products and I love their company. Um, my cookie dealer would be a dream sponsor too, just because then I could get cookies. Um, and like I said, they're another dope ass company. During the whole COVID thing, they actually like had to shut down stuff, but they actually made a bunch of boxes up and sent them out to hospitals and firefighters and like first responders and that sort of thing. That was super cool. As soon as I saw that, I was all in. They also shared my most recent video that I did like a month ago. And that was huge for the channel. That helps a lot. So like them, they're just a great company that I'd love to work with at some point. Um, and then the final one would be Freshly. Freshly is another huge company that I've been buying religiously from for, I don't know, man. I mean, like, so here, just to show you guys, I save every single time. Every time they send me a meal, I save my meal plan that I get from them. So this is all of the meal plans that I've gotten from them. I love the company. It's such a great company. The meals are well done. I think the pricing is good for what you get. And yeah, I would love to be sponsored by them. Those are kind of the three, though. It's kind of like the gaming. The energy drink one. I feel like is a common one that a lot of people would say, like a energy drink. I'm not Sneak, but just a energy drink. But yeah, no, I mean being sponsored by cookies and meal prep. Fuck yeah, why not? Um, those would be my dream sponsors, though. Obviously, another one would be Omen HP. I have an Omen laptop. My monitor over here is Omen. My mouse is Omen. My mouse pad is Omen. It's one of those things where eventually, if I did buy a PC, it probably would be Omen, or I'd have my buddy John make one. It's one of the two. But yeah, those are kind of the dreams right there. 42. What is your What is what is your Oh, so this one was asked. What is your favorite football position to play? So of course, I'm just gonna go with the one that I've actually played. I learning to play right tackle was something I didn't want to do. It was something I did because I played left tackle in high school, and then I switched to right tackle in college. I liked playing right tackle more because I liked pass protection, and a lot of times teams will put the better pass rusher on the right tackle side because the left tackle is normally the better athlete and the better pass protector. So if you put your best player on the other side, so I got to face a lot of really good players in practice. And overall, just after learning how to play the position, I'm in open space. I kind of have freedom to move. I didn't like that with guard. With guard, I didn't feel like I had the freedom to move where the tackle I did. Position I wish I could have been able to play was tight end. I wish I could have played tight end. That was the position that if I could have a favorite position that I wish I could play, it would have been tight end. Would have been tight end and then defensive end. D end. Those would have been the two. And the final and last question, unless chat has any questions, which if they do, start getting them ready. Would the 43rd question is: would you like to earn $1,000 per month? And this is from a cryptocurrency Instagram account. So my response to you is: fuck yourself. Yeah. That's it though. That's the 43. Like I said, 43 questions. Like I said, I knew like this was a little bit different of a podcast today. But I wanted to do something a little bit different because I didn't have a guest and I didn't really know who I wanted to be my guest this week. The guests I pick, I just kind of I go around and I pick friends or stuff like that, and I didn't know who to pick this week or who to ask. So I thought that doing something kind of like this I thought would be fun. So hope you guys learned a little bit more about me, even if you didn't want to. Hopefully some things there, you agree with. If there's some things that you don't agree with, well, we agree to disagree. And overall, I just hope everybody's having a good time and staying safe in these really odd times that we're living in right now. But with that being said, depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Stay out of trouble, and please stay safe. Bye.